Good afternoon, friends. Just want to start off this video by first of all saying Merry Christmas. Hope you all had a great one. And as you can see right now by this view and this hotel room, I am not home in Melbourne right now. I am off on a trip. So I hope you all had a great Christmas, whatever you were doing. I was lucky this year to have it off, so I was home with the family. But as I said just before, I am not home. I am off on a trip right now. And I want to say a really big thank you to you all because we have hit 40,000 subscribers, which to me is crazy. Really means a lot, all the support, and I really appreciate it. And it encourages me to keep going with these videos, so I really appreciate it. But today's video is going to be a Q&A. So my first Q&A I did through Snapchat, and today's Q&A I decided to do through Instagram. So I put up an Instagram post 2 days ago and asked you guys to ask me a bunch of questions. So thank you all to everyone that did ask me a question. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer every question because otherwise this video would be too long because, as you guys know, sometimes I can ramble, so sorry for that. But I did ask you guys to keep them fun, and you sure did. Got some interesting questions. And yes, this is going to be a Q&A video, so a bit more sit down and talk to you guys, answering a bunch of questions. I'm going to try and keep it as interesting as I can, but if you guys are after more vlog footage and things like that, thank you for watching so far into this video, but that's not going to be today's video, so I will see you next video. But for everyone else, let's get into it. And the first question is, how do you manage both YouTube and being a pilot? I thought this was a really good first question to start with because yes, I am a full-time pilot, so that takes obviously most of my time, but I do love making videos, so I'm doing my best to try and get more consistent for you guys. I know they've been a little bit inconsistent lately and a bit scattered, but I am endeavoring to do my best to get it more consistent for you guys, so please bear with me, and 2018 is going to be a big year for us. So I guess to answer the question, whenever I do film, I edit basically wherever I can or try to edit in real time as much as I can. So if I'm on a trip and I have an hour or two to spare, then I edit as much as I can in the time to try and get them out as quickly as I can for you guys. But yes, I am a full-time pilot, so my focus does have to be with flying. Which Star Wars character would you be and why? Interesting question. My first thought is Anakin Skywalker, but he does turn to the dark side, so that's not really me. I would have to then say Luke Skywalker because, you know, the Skywalkers are just the boss with the Force. So not a great reason, but that would be, I guess, why. How long did it take you from learning to fly to where you are now, and also best way to do it? I have answered this in, I guess, my main channel video, which is how I became an international airline pilot. But quickly, I started my training just before I turned 21, and now I'm 25. The cadetship training took 2 years, and then I had about 8 to 12 months before I actually started with the airline. So I've been flying with the airline now for 2 years. Best way to do it, as I've said many times, if you want to be an airline pilot, I believe the quickest way to get there is to do a cadetship course. So if you are interested, I would recommend applying for a cadetship course in your local country. What country would you like to visit in 2018 that you've never been before? So next year I actually do have 4 weeks of annual leave booked, and I'm planning to go to Europe for those 4 weeks. Obviously Europe isn't a country, but I guess within that I'll be going to Greece, Italy, all those sort of places. So that is where I'm planning to visit in 2018, and honestly I can't wait. I've heard a lot of great things, so I'm really looking forward to going there and obviously taking you guys with me. Can a Boeing pilot fly an Airbus plane? Well, the simple answer to that is no, because we can only be type rated on one aircraft type at a time. So I'm type rated on the Boeing 787, which actually is also a cross endorsement with the Boeing 777. So yes, I can currently fly the Boeing 787 and the Boeing 777. But the aviation powers that be only let you be type rated on one aircraft type, which does make sense because, for example, Boeing uses a yoke, which basically is 2 hands, and then Airbus uses a joystick, which is just 1 hand there. So different for cabin crew, they can be type rated on Boeing and Airbus. Can you come to Brisbane? Yes, I'll actually be in Brisbane, or planning to be in Brisbane in January, which is next month. Yes, being a pilot must be awesome, but what are some of the negative sides? I guess like any job, there are cons and pros. I honestly do think being a pilot, the pros do far outweigh the cons, but I guess some of the negative sides or cons would be that it is shift work, so your body clock, especially flying internationally, your body clock does get messed around a fair bit. That is something that I think all aircrew do have to deal with. Basically like shift work, so obviously it's not the only job that does shift work, but that is one big negative side. The other thing I would say is that we obviously do fly 24/7, 365 days a year. So for example, you know, people still fly on Christmas, New Year's Eve, all that sort of stuff. So yes, there are going to be years where I'm going to be away for Christmas and probably miss New Year's as well. But it is just part of the job, so like me and all other aircrew, we just make the best of the situation that we get. Apart from the 787, which other aircraft would you love to fly? I would love to fly the Airbus A380 if it is still around by the time that I am senior enough to actually get on that aircraft, but I don't know if I will be because they are obviously starting to phase them out as well. What's your favorite country you've ever visited or your favorite route to fly? So far, my favorite country that I visited is South Africa. I went there last year and it was absolutely awesome. I would love to go back there very soon as well. Favorite route to fly, I would have to say Hawaii because I love America and our hotel's right across from the beach and there's really good food here as well, so Hawaii. Are you coming to London soon? Short answer, yes. I will be there next year, not exactly sure when, but as I mentioned previously, I will be going to Europe probably about mid to late next year. So on that travel, at the very latest, that is when I'll be stopping in London. Probably spend a few days there as well, because yeah, I have been to London before and absolutely loved it. So yes, I will be coming to London soon. One thing you have not done but really want to do, what is it? Skydiving? What keeps you from doing that? Time. So I actually am planning to do this very, very soon. So stay tuned for that video. That is going to be epic. Am I your favorite follower? And if you were invisible for a day, what would you do? Sure, you are one of my favorite followers. I do have quite a few favorite followers if I have to think about it, because yeah, there are quite a few special people who do follow me, so you're one of, sure. And if I was invisible for a day, probably kind of boring for some of you, but I would probably go to an epic buffet and just eat a lot in the morning, and then probably go check out a whole bunch of places that I probably couldn't get to, you know, like the White House, where the Queen lives, or you know, something like that, some sort of VIP area where you can't really get to, obviously, unless you are like a VIP. So yeah, I don't know, I think that could be cool. Who is your favorite YouTuber and why? Probably like a lot of you, I would say Casey Neistat, because he's the OG in the YouTube game and he makes a lot of epic travel videos, which, as you guys know, I love traveling and I always love filming the experiences for you guys, especially in business class and stuff like that. So that is my favorite YouTuber and that would be why. So yes, a lot of you guys did ask this question or a similar question like this. So what's going on with my dating situation? Yes, I currently am seeing someone. We're not official, but it is going in that direction, to be honest with you guys. It's funny, I would always hear a lot of people saying you'd meet someone when you least expected it, and yes, that definitely did happen for me. Yeah, it's crazy how quickly we've got on and we've clicked. So yeah, I'm really happy and things are going well. But to answer the other side of that question, as I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, because I have said it in previous videos, it is not MJ. Could you see yourself being an aerobatic pilot and competing in Red Bull Air Race and other similar comps? Very interesting question. Probably ultimately the answer would be no. I did do some aerobatic training during my cadetship and I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it. So to be going around pulling G and all that sort of stuff, I don't think my passion's really there, and you would really have to have it, especially to get into Red Bull Air Racing and stuff like that. So probably not. Do you think you may change airline? Maybe one day, but right now I do enjoy who I fly for, and I am based in Melbourne, which is where I'm originally from, so majority of my family and friends are all there. Though if the opportunity was right and everything sort of aligns, maybe one day I would change airline, but yeah, right now I do enjoy who I fly for. How many flight hours do you have? Let me go look that up right now. So as of today, I have 1,386 hours in the 787. On top of that, I do obviously have the flying that I did during training, but to give you a specific answer on the 787, I have 1,386 hours. Do you prefer biscuits dipped in your tea or by themselves? Well, look, I don't mind a cup of tea. I guess my preference would be by themselves. Can you do a challenge video or game, please? Yes, I have actually been thinking of doing another food eating challenge, so that video may be coming soon. Will you be a commercial pilot long term? Yes, I do love flying, obviously, so I do see myself doing that for the rest of my life. If you weren't a pilot, what other career path would you have chosen? I probably would have continued to pursue audio engineering and music and stuff like that, so that probably would have been in that area. I don't know exactly what. Part of the engineering course that I did really love was actually writing music to movies and stuff like that, so that's probably an area that I would have wanted to explore a bit further. But yeah, I've always loved flying, even as a young kid. I didn't go straight into it because I couldn't see myself actually getting through all the study in the course and stuff, but I did. So honestly, if you do want to be a pilot and think you can't do it, if I can do it, you can do it for sure as well. Advice you'd give young aspiring pilots? Following on from the last question, I would basically just give you the advice of starting as soon as you can. I really do believe that if I can do it, you guys can do it too, because I was not the smartest kid in high school. I did not get the best grades, but I did get through the course. So if you have a love for it and love flying, you will get through the course for sure. If Jake Paul asked you to join Team 10 to boost your followers and become more well known, but you had to quit being a pilot, would you join Jake? The simple answer is no, because I love flying and first and foremost my job is going to be a pilot. So sorry Jake Paul, if you're watching this, I'm not going to join Team 10. What is your biggest fear? My biggest fear would not be living my life to its full potential and not doing everything I was capable of doing. You know, this answer may be semi-deep, but I just don't want to go through the motions of life. I definitely think we're all here to do something more than just living, working, getting married, having kids, and going through the motions and stuff like that. So my biggest fear is not reaching my full potential in my life. What camera do you use to make your YouTube videos? Currently I'm using a Canon G7X Mark II, but I am thinking of upgrading to a Canon 6D Mark II. I've been looking into it, and yes, it's going to be a bit bigger camera and stuff like that, so I do love the portability of the G7X Mark II, especially traveling and everything like that is really good. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about whether to upgrade or not, but that's currently what I'm using, a Canon G7X Mark II. Will you always fly the 787 or will you change aircraft in the future? I would say at the moment on the horizon for me, because I currently am a second officer, to move into being a first officer I will have to change aircraft type. That may be Boeing or Airbus, yet to see, but yeah, probably in under 12 months I will be moving into a first officer. Are you sponsored by Optimum Nutrition? Yes, I am. Can't say too much right now, but I actually am currently finalizing my contract for 2018 with them. Got some big things coming, so stay tuned for that. So there are 3 main brands that I do work with, one of them being Optimum Nutrition, which is supplements and everything like that. The second one being Alphalete, which is very, very recent. As you can see, this actually is an Alphalete t-shirt right here. And if you guys are after anything, as always, there's a link in my description box down below, so go check them out. And also Tayrock watches. Again, if you guys are interested, there's a link in my description box down below, and use Nick10, that will save you 10%. And I am super stoked to be working with all 3 of these brands because I do truly believe in all of them, and I would not be recommending them if I didn't. So right now I'm gonna have to change angles because the sun has started to come out a little bit, and as you can see, this is kind of getting real washed out. There we go. Do you only fly international? Have you been to Adelaide? Yes, I do only fly international, and yes, I have been to Adelaide. Actually, my dad's side of the family is from Adelaide, so I do visit there pretty frequently. What high school did you go to? Where did you grow up? Have a strong feeling you went to mine. So I went to Oxley College until year 9, and then 10, 11, 12 I went to Luther College, which is in the eastern suburbs in Victoria. So that's where I also grew up, in the eastern suburbs. And the reason I did change schools is because I was pursuing music at the time, and Luther College had a better music program, so I moved to Luther College. Is there anything you regret having done? No, because I do believe everything you do makes you who you are, so yeah, I don't regret anything in my life that I've done. Hi Nick, okay, I'm not gonna read that all out, but the question, how do you manage both personal and family relationships? I assume it would get extremely difficult at times. Yes, it can be. As I've said before, my family and friends are awesome. They do understand my job and my lifestyle. So I just make the most of the time that I do have when I am home, catch up with them and everything like that. So yeah, it can be hard at times, but it's just part of the job, and yeah, make it work. What are your goals for 2018? Yes, 2018 is going to be a big year. There's a lot of things on the horizon, and I'm super stoked to share them with you guys very soon. But I guess my goals are to become a first officer in 2018, and as I've said, I love making these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them. But yeah, I want to bring some awesome content for you guys in 2018, so stay tuned. 2018 is going to be a big year for us. How long does it take to go from first officer to second officer, then captain? There's kind of a long answer to that. It all depends on seniority and everything like that within your company. A few years probably to go from second officer to first officer. Captain probably, again, depends on seniority and how many people you have in your company and all that. People retiring and all that stuff. So to become a captain, you're probably looking at 10 years roughly. Do you fly long haul or short haul or medium? I fly long haul. Would you shave your head or have no ears? I'd shave my head. What's it like watching the sunrise from up in the air? Honestly, it is amazing. I'm very blessed to see that sunrise and sunset. It is sick. I try to show you guys as best I can, you know, in stories and stuff like that on my Instagram and all that stuff. But yeah, it's amazing. What are some of your favorite shows and musicians? Suits, I would have to say, I love that show, and Survivor, also love that. Musicians, Fall Out Boy, John Mayer, Ed Sheeran. I'm into most music really, apart from sort of screamo and heavy metal and stuff like that. How tall are you? I am 5'8". I know being a pilot is your main job, but you also do modeling. If your modeling agency offered you more jobs with travel, which would you choose? If I had to choose just one, I would choose piloting for sure. But if they did offer me that, I would probably move into part-time flying and still, yeah, do more modeling and stuff like that on the side. How often do you fly in a month? So roughly 3 or 4 trips a month. So I go away and then I'm home for maybe 2, 3, 4 days and then off again. So roughly 3 or 4 trips a month. If you had to choose, would you be a full-time pilot or full-time gym athlete? So similar to the modeling question, if I had to choose, I would, yes, still choose full-time pilot. But right now, I think I have a pretty good balance in terms of flying, doing modeling, and doing gym and athlete stuff and stuff like that. What I do want to show with this channel, which I've said multiple times, I want to show that it is possible to fly around the world, maintain a healthy lifestyle and social life and everything like that. So thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. Do think it is 100% possible. And finally, last question, what's one rule you live by? I've kind of already covered it in some of the other questions and talked about it, I guess, but basically to live with no regrets and to make the most of each day. This may sound a little bit morbid, but you do never know when your time may end, so I just want to live each day to the full and not live with any regrets. So I guess that's one, maybe two rules that I live by. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it hasn't been too boring for you guys. I know it's been a little bit different to other vlogs, just sort of sitting down and talking to you all. But I would really appreciate if you guys did like this video to hit the thumbs up button for me. It lets me know that you guys do like these Q&As. Let's say if I get 1,000 or more likes on this video, I'll do another Q&A for you guys soon. Try to keep them obviously interesting as I can, stuff like that. But if you have made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great New Year's Eve, whatever you're doing. Be safe, and 2018 is going to be big for us, so thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. 2017 has been awesome, and I will see you guys all in the new year.